Welcome to Finding Community Data with American FactFinder. American FactFinder is located at factfinder2.census.gov. Get to American FactFinder by using a search engine to search for it, or by just typing in the address. American FactFinder is a tool providing access to the population, housing, and economics data developed by the U.S. Census Bureau. Use American FactFinder to retrieve data from the decennial census, which provides population and housing data that is collected every 10 years, the economic and government censuses done every 5 years, and the American Community Survey, which is a survey of a portion of the population done every year. This chart shows a comparison of the decennial census and the American Community Surveys. You can see the differences between the sample sizes of each collection method and the differences in the currency. Note that the data from the decennial census would be the most accurate because it attempts to survey everyone in the United States, but because it is done so infrequently, can also be the most out of date. This chart should help to guide you as you think about the data that you find and the differences in the sources of the data. American FactFinder is a very robust tool that, among other things, allows you to use zip codes and census tracts to find information about the population living in those geographic areas, and then export or copy that data into Excel. This video will cover how to do each of these tasks. On the American FactFinder homepage, notice that there are several options that you could use to search with. Community Facts gives you a quick way to get basic information or fast facts on a geographic location by allowing you to search by state, county, city, town, or zip code. This only allows you to search for one geographic location at a time, so it is not optimal for comparing data. It also will not allow you to search by census tract. The guided search is designed to help you form a search based on a topic and is not ideal for searching based on geographic locations like zip codes and census tracts, which is the goal of this video. For these reasons, we will focus on using the Advanced Search tool, which allows us to search for multiple geographies at once to get a better overview of the data for multiple zip codes and census tracts that are relevant to a specific neighborhood, and then to compare to San Francisco as a whole. To access Advanced Search, click on the link and then click on Show Me All. From the Advanced Search page, choose Geographies on the left side. This will open the Geography selector box. Then you will want to select the type of geography that you would like to search by. This is where you would select zip codes or census tracts, depending on which one of the two you would like to perform your search by. To use zip codes, select 5-digit zip code tabulation area -860. Notice that there are two different types of zip code selections, but be sure that you are choosing the one labeled 860. Next, select a state. This will pull up a list of all the zip codes in that state. The zip codes are listed in sequential order. Scroll down to select the zip code that you are looking for. Once the zip code is selected, click on Add to your selection. If needed, you can select additional zip codes at this time by highlighting them and adding them to your selection. Notice that each time you add a selection, the selection is added to the Your Selections box. This is what tells American FactFinder what to look for. If you would like to find information by census tracts, which are generated and used by the Census Bureau and tend to be smaller than zip codes, the same process would be followed, but you would select Census Tract from the pull-down menu and then select the appropriate state and then the appropriate county. Then you will see a listing of all the census tracts for that county listed. These are also listed sequentially and can be added to the selection box by highlighting them and then clicking on Add to your selection. When adding, you can either add one at a time or highlight multiple items at once by holding down the Command key on a Mac or the Control button on a PC while selecting the items. Now we can see that the Your Selections box has 2 zip codes and 2 census tracts. Since I only want to look at data by census tract or by zip code, I will use the small blue button with the X in it to get rid of the 2 that I do not want. If you are ever working with American FactFinder and somehow end up with extra selections in the Your Selections box, just use that button to get rid of the unwanted selections. Now, whether you are choosing to use zip codes or census tracts, you will want to also add San Francisco to the list so that you can compare information for your neighborhood to San Francisco as a whole. To do this, stay on the Geography selector box and click on the Name tab. Type in San Francisco and choose San Francisco City or County. Click Go. A list of items will appear. Click on the one for San Francisco to add it to the Your Selections box. Once you have your zip code or census tract or multiples of each in the box, along with San Francisco, click on the Close button to close the Geography selector box. Once that selector box is closed, you will now see all of the data tables that are relevant to your selected geographies. Click on any of the tables to open them and view the information. Two of the most useful tables are Selected Economic Characteristics and the ACS Demographic and Housing Estimates. Selected Economic Characteristics provides information about income, poverty levels, and more. And the ACS Demographic and Housing table provides information on age, race, and ethnicities of the people living in your selected areas. Now let's cover capturing the data in Excel. Once you have a table open, American FactFinder provides you with many options to capture or manipulate the table data. To get rid of or move columns or rows, click on Modify Table. Once you are done modifying the table, click in the same space to close the modification options. Then use the Download option to download the information in several different ways. Use the tools at the top to explore these. Since it is often important to use the information in the table to create a graph or chart, getting the information into Excel in an easy-to-manipulate format can be essential. To do this, simply copy the table by highlighting the information needed and selecting Copy. Then, open an Excel spreadsheet and paste it in. On a Mac, you can simply select Paste and the table information will paste in an easy-to-read and use format. On a PC, select Paste Special and then paste as Unicode text. Now the information can be easily used to highlight and insert a chart or graph. And that's finding community data using American FactFinder.